Trump also renewed his vow to prevent Iran from building nuclear weapons. The president has ordered a massive U.S. military buildup capable of an attack against Iran. But a third round of nuclear talks between the two countries is expected tomorrow.
They were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue, starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again. And are at this moment, again, pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
We have more on that question, and we're going to turn to Crystal Gamansingh, who's in our Middle East Bureau. Crystal, American aircraft carriers really appear ready to strike. Where do those talks between Iran and the United States now stand?
Well, David, we don't have a great environment for those talks to be successful. After the U.S. president made those comments about Iran, once again, quote, pursuing its sinister ambitions, today the spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry came out saying that those were big lies. Considering this back and forth allegation denial situation, it's not a great setup to those talks in Geneva tomorrow, the third round of those talks trying to get Iran to agree to a new nuclear deal. We did hear from the Iranian project director for International Crisis Group. He says despite all of that, there is a very real possibility for both sides to walk away from negotiations tomorrow, claiming success, but it's a very narrow pathway.
If President Trump manages to get Iranians to continue the suspension of uranium enrichment, that is in practice zero enrichment that President Obama could never get, President Biden could never get, but he has obtained that, even if it's for a short period of time. If he manages to turn the future of Iran's nuclear program into a laboratory size enrichment or a regional consortium, so Iran no longer has sovereign enrichment, again, that is a real victory.
Alvarez says the key will be tomorrow after those talks wrap up. They have to come out saying there is an agreement. If not, that strike window, David, opens up.
That would seem to suggest the narrow window you're speaking about is extremely narrow, like tomorrow.
Yeah, so according to Ali, he said that after those talks wrap up, he anticipates that that strike window would open up likely by the weekend and could potentially run until about mid-March. You talked about that massive buildup of American military arsenal. It is the largest military buildup of ships and fighter jets that we have seen in the region since the 2003 invasion of Iraq. That creates a momentum of its own. So there is this idea of pressuring Iran, not only with a little bit of pressure, but a lot of pressure. The bet here is that Iran will capitulate. That hasn't happened thus far. And from the Iranian side, there is pushback saying every time they've been slightly flexible, it's only resulted in America or, for example, Israel coming back and demanding more. So the thought could be, if there is a military strike, maybe it won't be short, but rather Iran would push for a drawn-out, very bloody conflict here in the region.
Yeah, a little question that if this actually happens, it would not be the one-night deal that Venezuela was. It would be much longer and would likely involve Iran retaliating against other countries in the region. One of those countries, Israel, where you are standing right now. What is being said by the neighbors about whether to attack or not?
Well, David, let's start with Israel. We heard the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu say the other day in the Knesset that these are complex and challenging days, that they are prepared for any scenario. Today, we have Turkey, which is opposed to any sort of military action, saying they are looking at potential measures should it come to a conflict situation. There are so many calls for the regional players here, not including Israel, to stick with diplomacy to come up with some sort of agreement, saying the region just can't handle another conflict, David.
Crystal Command saying thank you.